and welcome to the Double Fall Podcast. Today is Saturday, February 8th, and tomorrow starts the finals for ATP Rotterdam and one of our favorite tournaments of the year, ATP Dallas.
And that's actually the only sporting event that's happening tomorrow. So all eyes are going to be on Rotterdam and Dallas tomorrow. Can't think of any other. No, yeah, that's about it. You got to see the kid Carlitos take it home. Anyway,
I might turn on the Super Bowl during the Dallas final on the side, but
as an afterthought.
Exactly. But I'm one of your co-hosts, Will. I'm here with Coach Jeremy. Let's go first into ATP Rotterdam. Let's start with the first one because that was kind of a routine win for Demon. Takes down Bellucci in 2 sets, kind of smokes him 6-1, 6-2.
As anticipated.
Yeah, we nailed that prediction. Go watch our previous video. But we highlighted how that was going to be a tough match for Bellucci to repeat his upsets over Medvedev, Tsitsipas. Demon, completely different matchup. Didn't play to Bellucci's strengths at all. And I think Demon has looked very solid this tournament. He has not dropped a set so far this tournament. He's taken down Goffin, Mensik, Altmaier, Bellucci. Not the biggest names on tour to get here, but now he has to face one of the biggest names in the sport, in Carlitos. Do you give Carlitos... Do you think this is one-way traffic, or do you give de Minaur a chance here against the Spanish sensation?
Well, considering Alcaraz was down 1-4, love 30 in the first, or love 40 in the first set. Granted, it was to Hubie Hurkacz, who's, great. And I think, we'll talk about this more later, but like Hurkacz, Demon, they're in that same, Hurkacz is going to re-enter that fray, and Demon's going to be, battling with Ruud, Paul, Fritz, all those guys for that top 4, top 5 area. And a win like this would be huge for Demon's confidence for this year. And it's the same exact scenario as last year that he lost to Sinner in the finals, right?
Yeah, that's a testament to how tough the draw is. If you want to win Rotterdam, you got to go through the top players like Sinner and Alcaraz,
But yeah, it's just, it's a very similar setup for him as last year. It's just, I think he's even better. He was an improved version of himself last year, but he's even better now.
Yeah.
And Alcaraz, especially in a 2 out of 3, he's never played this tournament before. Granted, Alcaraz looked, great at times and a little bit like beatable at times, like anyone is, besides Jannik Sinner. But I think Demon would fancy his chances against Alcaraz more than Sinner right now, especially in this. Like, he just needs to, like, Alcaraz might have a slow start, like he did in his last match against Hurkacz, and Demon might just be able to put its foot on the gas and just, strangle Alcaraz with his defense, like, because it looked like Bellucci had a ton of points that he's winning that on 99% of the tour, nonetheless tennis players. And, Demon's there and wins the point. Granted, same story with Hurkacz and Alcaraz. Like, I don't know if you saw that one drop shot that Hurkacz hit and Alcaraz slid in and just hit hit the drop shot with such an angle, it just like came into impossible to get for any. Yeah, it's insane. So
the only way,
two of the best movers the sport has to offer. Absolute popcorn, even if it's one-way traffic for Alcaraz, let's say, still popcorn points. Can't wait to, not be able to see that because I'll be coaching tennis, but
I will be watching it for sure. I might record it just so I can watch it back later. But I think Demon, why we've seen his rise in the rankings, he has made an improvement in his serve. I think he's beefed up a little bit, gotten a little pace behind his balls. Like you said, he always has the athleticism and the speed on defense to cover everywhere possible on the court. I think like so Bellucci tried to do his drop shot trickery, like you said before, like he's gonna throw junk, and then Demon tracked it down so quickly and got control of the point. I was like, yeah, good luck drop shotting Demon.
And
But
it
I
didn't
guess
look easy. All those points that Demon won, like Bellucci was making him work, but like Bellucci was looking like he was playing like he was still redlining, like the leftover from his Tsitsipas and Medvedev wins. He was like playing with house money, no pressure, playing his absolute but hitting, you know, crazy good shots. And Demon was unfazed ultimately, as the scoreline indicates, 1-2. But good for Bellucci. I think he's gonna
oh
hang his head
yeah,
high here and be like, wow, let's see. Huge tournament for him. Maybe he'll enter that top 50 discussion, and who knows what can happen. He's, young,
and
played great,
you
interesting
always
game.
you always say like the risk profile for players. Like Bellucci has a high risk profile. He plays with a
Hmm.
lot of aggression, goes for a lot, and this was one of those tournaments where it was going his way. But the thing is with Demon, and why he's one of the most consistent players on tour is because Demon just gets balls back. Whatever
Hmm.
you give him, the ball's coming back regardless. He's so good at hitting on the run. He's so good at coming forward to net and trying to end points and track down shots anywhere on the court. But I think where Demonar has a very high like floor, I don't think his ceiling as a player is as limitless as Carlitos.
Hmm.
Like I think Carlos's forehand is the biggest weapon on the court, and he has the type of pace and lethality in his groundies to hit through the best defenses of a Demonar, of a Tommy Paul. And
Hmm.
yes, Demon's strength as a player, I think, relies or lies in the return, where he's one of the top returners on tour. So his strategy or game plan as a player is to get a lot of balls back. If you Bellucci found himself not making a lot of first serves, I saw, and then that just stockpiles against a guy like Demon. Like he's feeds off of those second serve points. But
Hmm.
Carlos is special. He has that high tennis that not many people can play, and the balls he can hit to penetrate through Demon is like no one else, maybe Yannick. I think
Maybe
against
Chapo right now. I think
maybe
like Alcaraz's tennis level right now, like when he's playing well, it's like, Sinner can reach it. Chapo looking like he might be able to reach.
I hope if Dennis can be top five, no doubt.
Let's go.
But
Anyway.
I think what I took the under in Carlitos. That was quite the first set comeback. I feel like he just Carlitos does not value every point. I feel like he's okay with losing a couple points because he's taking high risks as a player. That's why he's going. Some points are showtime. Some points it's like, how did he miss that second serve return where it's like, just make it, dude. Start the point. But he's going for too much and then, he misses it. But he is okay. He's okay with missing some points and giving away some points that I don't think a guy like Sinner does. I think Sinner is like a ruthless killer. Like he steps on your throat and gives you nothing. Like
Hmm.
Carlitos gives his opponent, feeds him a little bit of free points here and there. I think he likes to kind of play with his food in a sense when he knows like, oh, back against the wall. I have to play my best tennis. I'm gonna come through because I'm freaking Carlitos Alcaraz, and not many people can play with me. But it
And it
just like,
almost always works for him.
yeah, and he
Like
comes back and
he
wins
always,
like
almost
all the
always
time.
wins. Like one of
Yeah,
the very few times I haven't seen it work is against Zverev at the AO last year.
or like
Other,
Djokovic.
right, like at like Cincinnati or something. Like otherwise, Alcaraz, no matter what kind of like desolate situation it looks like from the outside, like if you're just seeing the score and like not the names of the players, it's like, oh, this guy's done for.
Oh yeah,
But
it's like,
he's
oh,
just
he's
never out of it because he can just, you know, hold serve, break out of love 40, just the sky's the limit for him. So,
yeah.
obviously my fave, but
I know. I feel like he has like an endless possibility of weapons at his disposal. Like sometimes he tries to get cute with it or picks the wrong one or goes for the, flashy or whatever shot where like when he's like going to be 25 or like 24 and he's going to be more disciplined as a player, it's going to be like, oh, nobody can play with him because if he doesn't make mistakes, like he's just too good. Like as you said before, like he could just summon God mode tennis and win, and he did that against Hubie when he needed to in the first and then the third set. But
Well, you just have to say too good. All the
yeah,
opponents and everyone watching can just say is too good. Like, um, and I think that a lot of people are saying that um, that's where Alcaraz needs to improve. And people are chiming in. This is where Alcaraz needs to improve, which is a joke because let's be
yeah,
honest, he's more successful than almost everyone already. So everyone, I think, in my opinion, everyone needs to pipe down a little bit and stop giving him advice and just sit back and enjoy
oh yeah, and that's the
because
thing is like,
he has the most options. And everyone says, "Oh, this is like a flaw of his, that he doesn't know which option to use." It's like, hey, that's part of what makes someone a better tennis player is having more options than your opponent.
yes,
Because, great, you can hit a really hard forehand down the line. You can hit the hardest forehand of all time, and these guys, if they know it's coming, they'll be there, and then you have to hit another shot. Like the unpredictability that Alcaraz has is absolutely like, you can't replicate it, and I doubt anyone ever will. And I just want him to keep doing him.
I
That's
agree.
my speech there.
I love that so much because no matter who he plays, you know you're going to get a good watch. Tennis is a very individual sport. I feel like I only chime in and watch the matches where I very like enjoy the player or their game
Mm.
style or how they play the game. And Carlitos is for sure one of those players that anytime you tune in, it's going to be showtime. And I like the trajectory de Minaur is on, but I think
Mm.
it's in finals. I tend to lean towards the under, and I think this is going to be a focused Carlitos. Now there's a trophy on the line. He's going to be focused. He's
Hmm.
not going to give away those free points. Demon's going to make him earn it for sure. I guarantee we see many 20 plus shot rallies where it's like, wow, jaw dropping kind of athleticism stuff, getting to balls that literally only these two people can get to. But yeah,
Hmm.
I think this is a under 22 and a half and 2-0 Carlitos, unfortunately. Poor
It's gonna be
Demon.
like it's gonna be like when Carlitos faced Fritz in the finals of the Laver Cup. Do you remember that match? That it was just the most clinical thing I have ever seen. That he just waxed Taylor Fritz, to win it for Europe last
Yeah,
year. If
I don't remember that
watchers,
one.
if you have or double falters, if you haven't viewed that, just it's an absolute treat. Just make some popcorn, put it
put
on
put it on
as
the YouTube
highlights.
playlist.
Oh my god, just
We sh-
unbelievable.
we should make a YouTube playlist of just all of our favorite like old match highlights where it's like I go back and watch this and it's like all these matches we bring up, we just add it to the playlist.
You know
We
what came up first in my head was Dami Team 2019
oh
French
yeah.
Open. Any of those highlights are crazy.
I think when I make a video it's like don't forget about Dami team. Like in
Yeah,
memory of or something, but yeah, do you agree it's one-way traffic for Carlos here? Yeah.
yeah. How could I go against that?
Yeah. And
Let's see Demon make it a show, but I would be surprised. As good as Demon has looked, I think we see a laser focus Alcaraz tomorrow.
yeah. And I think Hubie presented a lot of the same challenges that Carlos has shown he struggled with a guy like Botic, where he has the length and defense to extend rallies against him, which may force some errors, but also can serve big and get the free points. And Demons made those improvements on serve, but I think too many times those points on Demon serve are going to get into extended rallies. And then it's like Carlos probably has the edge and the weapons to end those points.
Yeah,
But
shout out to Hubie Hurkacz for hell of a tournament,
oh
and
yeah,
he gave Carlitos a big scare. I don't know if anyone else in the draw could have come at Carlos like that, even from when so many big names went out, but even from when it started. I mean, who Medvedev wouldn't have played as well as Hurkacz just did against Alcaraz, in my opinion.
yeah.
That was like seriously high level tennis. So look out for Hubie Hurkacz, fellas and
He's got
ladies.
that top 10 potential for sure. I would love to see his name back in the mix now that he's healthy. Now that he's going to be a threat at every tournament. But let's get
Yep.
into the wild world of ATP Dallas.